102.5 forecast. A blend of sun and clouds today around 62. A chance of showers overnight. That overnight temperature about 45 to 50. Showers and thunderstorms Saturday due to a system coming in from the southwest. And the temperature is Saturday around 60. Showers and thunderstorms Saturday night in the 40s. And more clouds, more showers and thunderstorms planned for Sunday. The high Sunday, very close to 50. We'll keep you updated. Your life, your music. We're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President Donald Trump will meet with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un by May. China says the US decision to impose tariffs on steel and aluminium imports is a serious attack on international trade. 21 people have now been treated by medical staff in the UK after a former Russian spy and his daughter were attacked with a nerve agent. And US lawmakers have launched an investigation into sexual abuse in the realm of organised sports.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. I don't know about you, but I've been looking forward to this day. It's the end of the week. I'm sorry for those that have to work on the weekend. All right, so you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Jones, and I have two very special guests with me today, Mrs. Keisha Higgins and Mrs. Kara Maxwell. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so today they will be talking about an upcoming event that is catered towards breast cancer survivors. It is called the Breast Cancer Survivors Workshop, which is taking place on March 24th. And I'll let Ms. Keisha tell you a little bit more about this event, but I do want her to, even though she's been here before, I do want her to go back into some more detail about Pink Unveiled and how that organization came about.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for having us discussing the workshop. Pink Unveiled started about around 2014.
Okay.
I wanted to create an organization that not only supports survivors but supports the supporters of survivors. So that's kind of how Pink Unveiled started, having done a whole lot of things as far as events and stuff. So this is the second big event as far as the organization goes.
Okay.
So it really is to shine light on supporters as well, because we know that as far as survivors, once you're diagnosed with anything, not just cancer, but anything, any support you get, any caregiver that helps you, they're a part of the process as well. Yes, and a lot of times they get forgotten in the background.
So, yes, we definitely need the support for the supporters.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where Pink Unveiled started.
All right.
That's how we got on board with that.
And so I know last year you did an event. It was catered also to survivors and support. Their support system, their caregivers and things like that. And that went over really, really well. And so here we are again. And in the process, you have written a book. And the book is called The Breast Cancer Survivors Workbook. Yes. So tell us more about how the book came about.
Okay, so the book I'm really, really excited about. The book is a workbook that, first of all, I was going through some issues and I couldn't find literature. Kara can probably vouch for the same thing as far as what I was feeling and I was dealing with.
Okay.
So some of the things I was going through, the doctors couldn't give me an answer for it, as far as emotional.
Okay.
Now they could have sent me to whomever, but anyway, I still wasn't getting the responses that I needed.
Okay.
And I couldn't find any point blank literature as far as, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this for so long?
Okay.
I noticed that a lot of things are catered to the older crowd versus the younger crowd. Like I can't get answers for why I'm feeling this way because nobody really deals with the younger crowd.
Right, and especially younger African American females.
Okay.
Now, I'm not just saying just us specifically, but anybody, under 60, we feel different.
Okay.
Okay, so
ones who have kids.
yes, the ones that have children, the ones that are single that are going through this, the
Okay.
ones that are married may not have children.
Okay.
The ones that, you may be a professional out here working and going through cancer. So it's different levels and different things that you're feeling. But I couldn't find any specific literature, so
Okay.
I wrote down kind of what I was feeling. And the 4 stages I felt like I went through
Okay.
with going through cancer. So whenever you want to hit the stages, we can.
All right,
hit
so
those
let's
whenever.
definitely dive into these different stages. They are discovery, disbelief, dealing, and daylight. So I'm sure as you're putting this together, I talked to many authors that say that when they're putting their work together, it's like something outside of you helps you to organize all of these ideas. And I know that you have a
Absolutely.
strong faith in God.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure God led you on how to organize these and outline your workbook.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about each stage. So stage 1 was discovery.
Okay, so this and God, it was all Him, because I didn't know how to word it or to put what I was feeling into these separate stages or categories. I'm
Okay.
saying the mic, sorry. So it was absolutely inspired by Him. But the first stage, discovery. So this is the stage, and you can, if I'm not quoting it verbatim out the book, you can quote it.
Okay.
It is when you figure out there's something going on. There's something wrong. You don't really know what it is.
You can't put words.
You can't put words to it, but you know something is happening.
Okay.
Something is off.
Yes.
So even when I discovered, because I found my lump, but I knew from the pain that I was feeling like something ain't.
I had the
something
same
ain't
feeling. Yes.
jiving. Something ain't right. It's
Okay.
something going on. Didn't really know what it was, but I'm like, something. When you know your body, you know
Yes.
something is off.
Okay.
I told
Okay.
myself that I'm too young for this. It can't be cancer.
Absolutely. So even just that first stage, it's like, okay,
Something ain't right.
something ain't right.
Okay.
What is going on? Okay. What's the second one?
Disbelief.
Disbelief. Okay, so this is when you go to the doctor, you're going to get checked out, and they're saying you have A, B, C, or D. And it's like, what?
No.
I know it ain't this.
I know. You're not telling me that I have A, B, C, nor D. Okay? So, especially the ages that we
Yes.
are, I'm thinking I'm minding my own business. I ain't messing with nobody. I'm going to church. I'm going to work. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm with my
Yes.
husband. I'm trying to be a friend. I'm trying to be, do the Lord's work.
Okay.
Trying to pay these bills. So, why? What is going on? So, disbelief is a big one.
Okay.
Especially when you
a big
do
one.
get that final diagnosis. It's like, what?
And when you see it on paper,
Huh?
yeah. Or when you get that phone call.
Yes, that phone
The
call.
phone call. Okay.
Yes.
So, number 3 is dealing. So, dealing is when you kind of come into the realization that this is something that I've got to go through
Yes.
as a part of my life right now. And so, you start going to your doctor's appointments. You're doing your treatments. You're trying to figure out how to live, how to survive.
It ain't
This is
just
where the
going to a
survivorship-
doctor's appointment. It's like
Oh.
doctor's appointments on top of doctor's appointments on top of doctor's appointments.
So
Wow.
this is when the survivorship part really comes, the surviving
Okay.
comes in. Okay, so this is you trying to, like she stated, all the doctor's appointments. You're trying to make sure your children are okay. You're trying to make sure you're still living life as much as you can.
Okay.
If you're able to work, you're still trying to go to work. You're still trying to maintain as much normalcy as you can,
Yes.
Okay.
if that's possible.
Wait.
So you're trying not to be a burden upon everybody else, because in your mind, I don't care what you're going through, if it's something traumatic like that, if it's whatever it is, whatever process you're going through, you don't want to feel like a burden to everybody else. And of course, they're not seeing you as a burden, because they want to help you,
Yes.
they want to cook, they want to do this, they want to take your kids to school, they want to
Especially
help
when you have a husband.
especially when you have a husband. But in your mind, it's like, okay, I have to figure out how to deal with this the best way I can.
Okay.
And some people are like, oh, girl, you'll
You'll be all right.
okay. You'll do this. You don't have to cry. Well, you can cry if you want to. But sometimes I want to cry. Sometimes I don't want to cry. Sometimes I want to scream, sometimes I don't. So the dealing is the lengthiest stage.
Okay.
Because
It's kind of like accepting it.
Acceptance, right. Because, like the 5 or 7 stages of grief.
Yes.
Some people say 5, some say 7. Now I've seen where it's like 10.
Yeah.
But that denial and acceptance part, dealing is all of that wrapped up into one. Okay.
And I want to highlight, in each of these sections, you have...
Don't give too much away.
No, I'm not giving too much. You have a statement, and then you have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure these questions are things that you probably asked yourself.
Absolutely.
In those moments when you didn't want to really be real with
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping that everyone that comes can be real and open and just allow themselves to feel and realize that the space that you are creating is a safe space
Yes.
for their emotions.
Absolutely.
Let's tackle these questions. Because what I've learned, the more you suppress stuff, I mean, just look at anything in life. You suppress, so it's going to eventually
explode.
Yeah. And then now you're dealing with a bigger mess than what you could have dealt with before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's perfect. The last stage is daylight. Okay, so daylight, and I will talk about this more through the interview, but I'm just going to hit what they are. But daylight is once you realize, okay, I have went through this for a purpose.
Okay.
There is something that I have, this pain, all this mess, all these doctor visits, all this crying and this sickness and trying to figure out who I am, what's wrong, why this happened. All this mess, quote unquote mess, is for a reason.
Okay.
So when joy comes in the morning, whenever your morning appears, that's the daylight.
Okay.
So daylight may not, it may not come 5, it may take you 10 years to get to your daylight.
Okay.
If some people, it may take 2.
See, opposed to me, I went through those phases really fast, and I learned that just accepting it for what it was, and noting, and just thinking, okay, there's a reason behind everything.
Absolutely.
And you can't walk through life just being negative. And if you can find the joy in any little thing, you got a reason.
Absolutely.
And that's how I went through the whole journey. That's how I still am. Like, I just feel like there's a purpose for everything.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about how many years, both of you. Carrie, I don't know if you even reached the year mark yet.
I have reached you. It's going on 2.
Okay, so Kara's a almost 2-year survivor. And Keisha, you're how many years?
I'll be 6 this year.
6. And so even at year 6, do you still feel some of the heavier emotions that you felt maybe year 1?
Sometimes it just depends on, I think it just kind of depends on where I am.
Okay.
Like, I don't like sometimes it can be a roller coaster. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, everything's just perfect. I'm great, because that wouldn't be telling the truth. I do have my moments.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes. So I'm not going to sit here and act like the pink ribbons just make everything better. And that's not the truth. I do have my moments. I still have things that go on in my body.
Okay.
Even though it's been almost 6 years. I get fatigued really easily sometimes. So I have to be careful and mindful of that. I have to be aware of my immune system still.
Okay.
So it's just different things that come about. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like everything's just hunky-dory all the time, because that wouldn't be telling the truth. So.
All right.
See, I'm still going through treatments, not active treatments, but medical treatments, and the side effects from the active treatments. So it's still rough, but I'm like, okay, I have my moment. I'll let it just live in that moment and then just move on.
And I think that is important too. Like you were talking about suppressing it, you have to allow yourself to feel the moment.
Okay.
You have to allow yourself to feel what you're. And I was that chick. I was that. I'm good. I'm great.
That was me.
Don't you don't have to ask me anything. I'm not gonna. I'm good. I'm great. Trying to be Wonder Woman, and then you're crumbling the whole time on the inside.
Oh yeah.
So I had to learn. Okay, Keisha, it's okay to cry.
Okay.
It's okay to call somebody, and if you don't know what to say, to just literally sit there and cry on the phone.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay to lay on your husband and cry. It's okay.
And you find those people who you can depend on that'll just sit there on the phone and listen to you cry, and they don't judge.
Absolutely.
Now, both of you have children, and
Yes.
so I know Keisha, and also in your process, you wrote a book geared towards maybe helping your child or helping children understand what breast cancer is. So tell us about, and we'll get more into the book, and then we'll highlight this upcoming workshop in the other part. But I just want people to get some backstory and some understanding on how all this came about. But I'm sorry, before we get to the children part, you have another section in the book. Of course, we're not going to give away details on that.
Yeah, don't give too much stuff away.
But the title is called The New Normal Purpose.
Yes.
No, The New Normal and then Purpose. And then part 3 is called, Reality Check.
Yes.
Okay. And so, will you be going through each one of these?
Absolutely. What we'll do in the workshop, we're going to go section by section.
Okay.
And what I want anyone that comes to understand, I'm not telling you that you have to be at daylight before this workshop is from 1 to 4. You don't have to be at daylight skipping through tulips by 4 o'clock. We just want you to find where you are.
Okay.
And at least acknowledge where you are in the book. Okay. And if you fall back sometimes to the dealing or whatever, or the disbelief, it's okay. It's okay. But at some point, we want you to get to daylight. We want you to see where the daylight is and what can happen when you get to stage 4, which is the daylight. So we're not telling you from 1 to 4 that you have to be at daylight.
Okay.
I would like you to be,
Okay.
but you don't have to be.
All right.
And it's okay. That's
Everybody
human
moves at
nature.
their own
Everybody
pace.
goes at their own pace. So it wouldn't. Who am I to say, girl, you got to be at stage 4 by 4 o'clock? It's not gonna happen. But that's how we will work through every piece of the book in the workshop.
Okay.
That's the goal.
I hope you have boxes of tissue on deck, because I'm sure if people come with an expectation of receiving and releasing, I hope that they release. Like, I hope they truly let go.
Yes.
I can't even fathom in my head what it's like to have breast cancer, or like have cancer, or some major illness of any kind. What I'm dealing with is nothing compared to what you all have dealt with. I can't even imagine the surgeries that you've had to undergo, and then the pain and the I've seen people go through the process, but I've never felt it, so I don't know. I can't even. I don't know.
Boy, without the estrogen in my body, I'm a ball of emotion.
But the thing is, you're saying you can't imagine what we've been through. Well, I can't imagine what you've gone through, and that's the thing. It's not just for survivorship. If you're
It's
still
not
here,
sympathizing, it's empathizing.
right? If you're still here and you've been through anything like that, you can benefit from this workshop. Because if you're here, you're a survivor of something, okay? So just because you haven't dealt with, I have a lady she lupus.
Okay.
She dealt with lupus. I have another young lady I've been talking to. Hers was ovarian.
Oh.
So it's not, and then we have someone else that's come with a different kind of cancer they dealt with. So it's not just breast cancer.
Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to get my friend to come who's dealt with liver and intestinal cancer.
Yeah, because if you've been through, you trust me, any kind of thing you've been through, you can find your stage in that book.
Okay.
I just named it that because, of course, that's
Person.
that's what I've dealt with. But any survivor can benefit from the book or from this workshop.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you see yourself, and I promise I'm going to get to the question about the kids, do you see yourself developing more workbooks for more groups of people, or maybe something that's a little generic for general purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. More than likely, all of my stuff already. More than likely, it will be like you said. You said it perfectly. A more generic, quote unquote, form of a survivorship workbook.
Okay.
But like I said, because breast cancer is my experience,
Okay.
that's what I started with first.
Okay.
But of course, we'll delve into that. Look at you getting all of my Kool-Aid here.
Okay, well, so I won't get too deep. Let's talk about the impact on the kids that have been there with you. I mean, they have to go through it as well. They have to explain to their friends why mommy can't, don't feel like, or whatever the case may be. So
Well, when I found out, Quabila told me, she said, "Oh, I know this girl. She has the perfect book."
Yes.
And she was there. Keisha was there.
I'm happy that you all connected. Cause, oh, wow. So what was it like because you have a baby how old is he?
He is 8 now.
Okay.
He is 8. And I'm really grateful that I was able to connect with Kara through Quabila. You never know, who you connect with and why. So I am really grateful that we connected over a book.
Yes.
I mean, more than a book, but the book is what.
And you never know. Read.
But going back to the Coolest Mommy, and I am trying to get more publication of that out. My publishing company has some issues, so therefore that's why Coolest Mommy has kind of been quiet right now.
Okay.
But she's coming back. But the book started, Brayson was 3 when I went through cancer, and just from my point of view and from his point of view, of course, he really didn't know what was going on. They just know that something is wrong. They know if they see you laying around, they know that you're not feeling good or that you're possibly
my daughter
sick.
was 3 whenever I got the book.
And so, trying to make it where they can understand. That's why the pictures are like they are in the Coolest Mommy. While you're losing your hair, what is, it's pictures of a mother going through chemo, mother still trying to play and cook for their kids and playing
Why
with
mommy's
the drums.
so tired.
Why she's so tired. So the book is to give the mother and the child dialogue so they can ask those questions and go over those questions, and not in a scary sense.
Okay.
But it helps the kids understand. It really does.
Okay. So we're going to take a break right there. And you tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. Please do not go anywhere. When we come back, we will be talking about the Breast Cancer Survivors Workshop and just dive deeper into it, but still not give too much away because we need to
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are you helping your spouse have an affair? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. There's no excuse for having an affair, and sure, sometimes they happen out of the clear blue, but more often than not, affairs don't just happen. Usually, there are things that are said or not said, done or not done over the years that are contributing factors. Here are some ways to push your spouse toward an affair. First, constantly compare and criticize. Hurt and tear down your spouse with critical or comparing words instead of lifting them up. Second, invest all your time and energy in your kids. Be sure that your universe revolves around your children. For more ways to help your spouse have an affair, listen to this week's episode of the Family First Podcast at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Hello, this is Quabila from Community Conversations. We at KLEK 102.5 FM strive every day to give to you. We strive to give you music that uplifts you. We strive to give you information to keep you informed about news, candidates, and the issues. We strive to give you a place where all voices can be heard. We strive to give you stories of people making a difference for 3 years and counting. We at KLEK have strived to give you our very best. We hope and pray that somehow, in some way, KLEK has helped to enrich your life. If so, please consider giving to us so that we may continue to give to you as your community radio station. KLEK is hosting our first annual pledge drive, March 15th through the 18th, from 6 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. each day. Community leaders and regular people just like you will tell their stories on how KLEK has helped them, and you will have an opportunity to call in and make your pledge of support. If you don't want to wait until March 15th, go to our website, www.klekfm.org. Click the donate button and make your donation now. All donations are tax deductible. Please consider giving to us so that we may give back to you.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching and is tuned in. Let's see, Sherry Lynn, Clark D'Angelo, Reverend Greg Osa, Brent Worth Butler, Shay Washington. Want to say hello to Lena Hurd. Okay.
That's my cousin.
And let's see. Also to Black Professionals Network of Jonesboro, Keandra McCain, Janice Williams, Alexa Scott, Peter Crawford, and Tanita Boyd.
Hey, y'all.
Waco. So thank everybody for tuning in, for watching. Please share this video. Kara and Keisha sharing some wonderful information about an upcoming breast cancer workshop. In the first part of the show, we went through the survivors workbook. Now we're going to get more into the workshop and how this came about and some of the supporters of the workshop and the speakers. I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead.
First of all, the workshop, I have been actually have been working on this for a while. I just hadn't put the feet to it yet, and wanted to do this, just didn't really know when, I guess, to do it. And Kara actually inboxed me one day, I don't remember what day it was, and she said, well, if you ever have anything, I would be willing to speak. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, maybe I can just go ahead and push this forward. So that's kind of how, as far as the timing.
Okay.
So I actually been wanting to do this. When I created the book, I had this in mind to do a workshop with it. That was kind of like another reasoning for creating the workbook.
Okay.
So Kara is going to be a speaker. Like we said earlier, we met via
a book.
If it was on a book. But I wanted her and my other speaker, Nina Jackson. I met Nina through my job. She has to work at the courthouse.
Okay.
And so I see her pretty much on a daily basis. But I wanted these two ladies because of diversity.
Okay.
Okay. So Kara is biracial. And Nina is also, Kara is Caucasian and
Black.
African
American.
Wakanda. And so Nina is Hispanic and Caucasian. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted diversity.
Okay.
And then you have me. So, but that was my whole purpose of them. They're especially not just ethnicity and race, but also age.
Okay.
Okay. So I wanted people to see more than what you generally think of breast cancer or cancer. A lot of still are in that mind that it's an older Caucasian woman's disease, and it's not. We're proof that it's not.
Yes.
And so that's basically how the speakers came
and
to be.
also letting more African American women know that there are more African American women diagnosed with breast cancer. It just is more deadly to them.
Absolutely. Because by the time that we found out, African American women find out, first of all, we're going to be in denial.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're thinking we got to take care of everybody else first before we even go to the doctor, before we even go get a mammogram.
And it's in its later stages.
And it's in the late. So by the time we get to the doctor and we're getting the treatments, we could have killed it and destroyed it at a 1, you're
it's
like 3
at
and 4. Okay, so we have the higher mortality rate, point blank.
Wow.
Okay, so we want to get that information, and then just let you know that you're not by yourself.
Yes.
It's a whole group of us in Northeast Arkansas. A lot of times, what I found out too in Northeast Arkansas, I'm going to be very, very transparent during this interview. When things happen for survivors or events or things are put on, we don't find out until afterwards.
Oh no.
Okay, until after it's happened, and then I'm looking online or in the paper and something. Oh, we had this event, really? So if I have dealt with breast cancer, if I know somebody, I'm going to try to pass on as much information as possible that this is going on, that this is happening. You can learn this, you can benefit from this. Come over here, see what we got going on. Wow. You know, so I think we have to break some barriers as far as diversity.
Okay.
Because cancer does not discriminate.
No, ma'am,
that is it does not discriminate. It doesn't care what color you are, what age you are, what you look like, how cute you are, how many kids you got, if you're married, single, making money, not making money, homeless. It doesn't care.
That's right.
Okay, so we have to get out that mindset that it's just, survivorship is just for this circle or genre of people, because that ain't the truth. Okay, so that's, if you don't remember nothing else I said, cancer does not discriminate.
Does not discriminate. No.
At all.
I made a post Tuesday about some events Kira and I participated in, and a young lady commented she was 29 when she got her diagnosis. So women are getting diagnosed younger and younger, and I know that insurance companies are reluctant to even...
Very reluctant.
Oh, yeah.
To cover,
very reluctant. Mammogram.
To cover testing for women under, say, 30 or 40. Like
under 40.
Yes. You hear the commercials and all this, women over 40 get tested, but...
It's not even just the testing, it's the treatment.
Mm-hmm. But women under 30 are getting breast cancer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I'm sure there are statistics that show women even under, say, 25.
Yes.
Yes, I met a 16-year-old that had breast cancer.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
And we definitely want to break the stigma and let men know you can get breast cancer as
yes,
well.
I did an interview with a man who had breast cancer.
My father-in-law, actually, it was either earlier this year or last year, he texted me and told me that he dealt with breast cancer. He had never admitted, talked about it. He was actually going to talk about it at his church for the first time. This had to have been maybe last year or this year. But anyway, he was going to talk about it at his church for the first time. So he texted me and let me know that was something that he dealt with. And I was like, he's 70 years old now, but that was something he dealt with, some years ago. But see what I'm saying? The stigma, that is just these certain people get our black men deal with it. Yes. Our young black women deal with it. Our young, Hispanic women deal with it. Asian women deal with it. It's not just that particular group's disease, quote unquote.
Okay. Now, when it comes to support groups and networking, what's available out there? I mean, what's really out there?
A friend and I actually started a support group, not just for breast cancer, but for all cancers.
Okay.
And it's particularly made up of younger women. And I'm not allowed to say the name because I don't have permission to say the name. Okay. But the place is over there on the north side. Okay. It's a hospital. Okay. And you can reach out to them and get more information about the support group. It's a great group of women. And I didn't think that a support group would have helped me out so much. But, man, it really helps.
Well, if anyone would like to know more about the support group where there are some younger women attending, you can reach out to Kiara either through us or send her a private message through Facebook.
Yes, please do.
And there's also, I'm an advocate with LBBC, Living Beyond Breast Cancer.
Okay.
So I'm a young women's advocate.
Okay.
Excuse me. So if anyone wants to reach out to me as far as the information for that, it's based out of state, but I do like, I've done webinars and different things for them, so if anybody wants to contact me about LBBC, then they're more than welcome to.
I'm also working with the Young Women's Breast Cancer Coalition, and I will be a coordinator for the only one in Arkansas.
Oh, wow.
So if you need help or anything like that, especially if you're young, we are based solely on women under the age of 40. And because there's no testing for any of the treatments for under the age of 40, we lobby and we are trying to get more testing done on women at the age of 40 because there's nothing for us.
Wow. And I know that you hear the comments about it's expensive, but I'm sure there's some way, somehow, and of course I don't know all the logistics, and I'm not an economist and I don't know finance, things of that nature, but I just feel somewhere in my spirit that there can be a way to make the testing a little more affordable, feasible, more doable, more something. Like, I mean, not going to get into that tangent today, but I just feel like there's some doors that can be open and some things that can be done to make it more available for everyone and not just saying, oh, it's too expensive, so we're not going to do it, or it's not worth the risk of, because what if
you would rather be proactive.
Yes.
Let's be proactive and get them done now instead of spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on treatment.
It's also important to have a primary care physician who is on your side, because I was denied 3 times for my testing, and he wrote a letter to my health insurance company and he demanded I have that test.
Wow.
I was also denied multiple times for my treatment, and my doctors and my oncologists demanded I have those treatments.
Wow. All right, so are these some things that you are going to also bring up in the workshop? Maybe how to talk to your doctor, just questions to ask or research to do, or like what are some other things you'll cover in the workshop?
As far as the workshop, can I go back and hit some of the people that are donating and sponsoring, and we'll get into that. Okay, so some of the people that have donated these awesome gift giveaways, if you register, you can get some awesome gift giveaways. Excuse me, my mom, Vanessa King, she's donating some goodies from Bath and Body Works and some other things.
Okay.
Andrew Daly, Edgy Studios, he's donating a photo shoot.
All right.
And Moselle Maddox, y'all know Moselle with the beauty. She is doing one full face, including lashes.
Oh,
so she's giving you lashes as well.
I need some lashes, Mom.
And Terrell Leslie Patterson, I love Terrell. She's giving one haircut.
Ooh.
And Yoshara Barber. She's donating a sponsorship box. She has an organization called Chosen on Purpose.
Okay.
And that box is also going to include a t-shirt. And Tanisha Collins, the I Am Queen, she is donating one long-sleeved shirt as well. And then St. Bernard's is also donating some goodie back as far as some informational packs.
Yes.
Okay.
Also with cancer support group information.
Okay. And then I see on your flyer you have Miss Tara Newman. Miss Tara Newman, she's going to kill me if I can't read her last name. Carter. From Paparazzi. Is she one of your sponsors, supporters?
Yes. She's on my paper. I'm so sorry, Tara, you're on my paper. But she is the Paparazzi jewelry vendor that will be there set up. All her fabulous jewelry should be set up for purchase and everything. And then Javon Barnes with Ringo Bees. He is the caterer for the event.
Y'all do not.
So it's going to be
want to miss that.
The bomb. Okay.
Javon can do something.
He can throw down. So
okay.
he's a professional chef. He has his actual. He graduated from, you know how some people say, girl, I can cook. No, he really can. He went and got the degree for it. So he's gonna be our caterer. So you were asking what some things were as far as
discussion.
Yeah. So do I have time?
Yeah. Besides getting into the workbook, what are some other topics that you will highlight?
Okay, actually, let me go back. The workbook would be the main focus.
Okay.
So we're gonna help push survivors into their what now and realizing what their new normal is. Okay. So the workbook, that's the main focus. But we're gonna have, of course, some icebreakers and different things like that.
Okay.
At the end, so we'll have our speakers. They're gonna have about 20 minutes to speak. We're gonna go through the workshop. We're gonna have the vendor do the giveaways. Some other little interaction things will go on at the end. Now, if we have, we're gonna have some time for other questions, other things to jump into. So that will be the time to talk about different insurances, different information to give out, any questions, anything that as far as we can give.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as our knowledge that we can give, as far as like where you can go for additional help and support groups, all that will be at the end.
Okay.
But the focus is to get through the workbook in totality.
Okay.
That's the focus.
All right, we have a comment from Brent Worth Butler. She says, in South Carolina and in Illinois, the health department for people who are low income would screen, and if something was found, they work with you to get the testing done through grants. Then Kara responded, she said it was difficult to get testing for young women here. And she said, that's so sad. I've been in the position where I was young, didn't have insurance, and had to rely on these things when I found lumps. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that, Brent. Yes. Brent is one of my dear friends out in South Carolina. Awesome. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm not going to get too deep into myself, but I do need to get to the doctor. Well, not that I've noticed anything, but I'm over 40 now, so
That's what I was saying about being proactive. For some reason, women in general put ourselves on the back burner. Now, we'll take the kids to the doctors. We'll have our husbands to go to the doctor. We're going to tell our mamas to go to the doctor. You better make sure you go to the doctor. But when it's you put yourself on the back burner. So that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. Be proactive.
That's funny you say take our husbands to the doctor, because I went to the doctor and I secretly made an appointment for my husband for a checkup. And then when we went for the checkup, he thought it was for me until they called his name. I had to trick him into going to the doctor, and we found out some things that's very important that could have taken his life.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, so I declare and decree today that we all become more proactive with our health, and especially those of us that are African American or mixed,
and
or
especially
whatever.
If you have a history.
Yes.
If you have history in your family on either side, not just your mama's side.
Yeah.
Most of my history is on my father's side.
Okay.
So if you have a history on either side, if you're genetically prone to cancer, I'm not speaking doom and gloom. I'm speaking reality and facts.
Okay.
You need to make sure that you're being proactive and going to the doctor at least.
Get genetic testing, because it's more than just the BRCA1 or BRCA2 gene. They've discovered so many that attribute to breast cancer exclusively.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what about genetic testing? Is that even an option, or?
Well, when you're at risk of developing breast cancer, or you are diagnosed at an average age, such as myself, usually the surgeon or the oncologist will suggest it and will push for the insurance to cover it because of those problems.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're paying $3,000 to $6,000 for the genetic testing cash.
And see, both of you have daughters, so is that something that you worry about? Or
yes.
Have concerns about?
Yeah, you're going to be concerned. If you've tested positive. So absolutely, you're going to be concerned.
And also,
the other thing, you can't now. Let me clarify some stuff too. We're not saying be fearful.
Okay.
Okay. No. We're not saying
live life.
God, oh my God, be fearful and touching yourself every 2 minutes. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying be paranoid, go to the doctor every other week. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying just be mindful and be knowledgeable about what's in your family genetics, about what's going on. If you look back over your family, and aunt so-and-so died, uncle so-and-so died, cousin so-and-so died, and it was all cancer related, you need to look into that. Because sometimes you don't even realize it until, I didn't even realize some of this stuff until I started doing my genetic testing. You have to kind of make out a family tree, and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, it doesn't make sense, because when you're young, you're not necessarily thinking about your genetic tree.
No.
And also, what I learned is when you have genetic testing done and nobody in your family has had it done, you can come back as negative, but also be positive. What it does is set a baseline for your family.
Wow, I'm learning so much. And these are things I know I should probably have already researched and learned, but again, sometimes when things don't affect you directly,
you don't think about it. You don't think about it. I never 34, I never would have thought I would have dealt with breast cancer. It's not something, when it's not in your face, you don't think to.
No one in my family had breast cancer. So when I was diagnosed a month after I turned 31, I was like, what? Not me. What is going on? They got to be wrong.
Wow. When we come back from our break, we're going to talk about, some things that you faced. And you mentioned earlier about everything you're going through is for a purpose. So when we come back from our break, we're going to talk about what you have realized at this point, what your purpose is, and why, unfortunately, you had to go through breast cancer, and then, what impact it has made on your family, community, and what it has maybe pushed you to do. So, everyone listening, please stay tuned. We'll be right back after these announcements. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Today we're talking about the financial hoarder. Hoarding is rooted in fear and anxiety, the need to hold on. It's a mindset of poverty, not abundance. Unfortunately, bad economic times, such as our most recent Great Recession, can trigger or exacerbate a hoarder mentality. As a result, financial hoarders may sacrifice their future on the altar of today, keeping all of their money in a low-interest savings account instead of diversifying into investments with higher interest earning potential, or failing to invest for long-term goals such as retirement. Buying cheap goods of low quality can actually be less cost-effective than paying more for higher quality that will last. Hoarding resources is not a substitute for smart money management. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Tune in to Community Conversations every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. here on KLEK 102.5 FM. Join host Quabila Jones-Harden as she talks to people who are making a difference in the community and learn about the people and organizations that provide services to make Jonesboro a better place. Community Conversations every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Celebrating Women's History Month on KLEK 102.5 FM. Here's your Women's History Moment with Dr. Sharice Jones Branch.
This is Dr. Sharice Jones Branch, and this is your Women's History Moment. Constance Baker Motley was born on September 4th, 1921 in New Haven, Connecticut. Her parents were Caribbean immigrants. She decided to become a lawyer when she was 15 years old. Motley became a maid after high school because her family could not afford to send her to college. After giving a speech in the local community, a wealthy white contractor, much impressed with her skills, paid for her college. Motley was first educated at Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. In 1943, she transferred to New York University, where she graduated with a degree in economics. In 1944, she became the first black woman to be accepted into the Columbia Law School, where she met Thurgood Marshall, chief counsel for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, and where she earned her degree in 1946. In that same year, she married real estate broker Joel Wilson Motley Jr. and had a son, Joel Wilson Motley III. Motley played a major role in the legal preparation for Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954 and was the first black woman to argue a case before the United States Supreme Court. In 1964, Motley became the first woman elected to the New York State Senate, and in 1966 became the first black woman appointed to the United States District Court.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, under the direction of Bishop Adrian Rogers and co-pastor Susan Rogers. www.fjministries.org.
From the KLEK Community Calendar, First Baptist Church, 700 Kitchen Street in Jonesboro, Reverend Curtis Wilson, pastor, presents FBC Army, a girls' retreat. This event will provide the spiritual nourishment, encouragement, and inspiration that's needed for young ladies ages 12 to 18 to succeed. The speakers will address topics such as self-confidence, self-respect, self-control, and self-motivation. Special guests will be Tiffany Wright, Wakanda Cox, Tamara Glover, and Corleen Flanagan. This event will take place Saturday, March 17th at 10 o'clock a.m. The event will be hosted by Tia Morris. Breakfast and lunch will be provided, and there will be vendors present. Registration is available at www.eventbrite.com. under I Am Worthy. More information is available via Tia Morris at 870-532-3381.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I hope that you have been enjoying our conversation with Mrs. Keisha Higgins and Mrs. Kara Maxwell discussing an upcoming breast cancer survivors workshop. Okay, and so we're going to get into some more details before time runs out, but I do want to recognize Miss Gwen Coleman and Lena Hurd for checking in, and thank you so much. Gwen says, "Hey Carrie, you ladies are doing great. I'm in the doctor's office, so I don't know how long I can stay connected, but thank you so much." She said, "Great but awesome job, ladies." Thank you so much, Miss Gwen.
And hey, Mama Paulette Hurd.
And I want to give a shout out to Ms. Maddie Warren for checking in as well. Thank you so very much, everybody, for checking in. All right, so now we're going to get into some more details of this workshop, the registration, seating, and then we'll get into your purpose or your why concerning breast cancer. So go ahead.
Okay. As far as the workshop, it is March the 24th from 1 to 4. It is at ASU Library/Museum. The room is 157. The door is actually right behind the red signs that says ASU Museum, but of course we'll have somebody out there. But it's a direct walk behind that sign into the door. The registration is $25. The registration includes your lunch that you're going to get, the workbook, because that workbook is sold on Amazon, but you will be getting that workbook included with your registration. You will also get other little things, but the giveaways, that's how you're going to be able to be in the number for the giveaways. And then you'll also have access to the paparazzi vendor, which is Tara Newman Carter.
Okay.
So the seating is limited.
Okay.
We actually only have some tickets that have been bought, but there's up to 25 seats. Okay. And some people are like, well, why is it? Well, that's just what it is for right now.
Okay.
When we have more of these events, then it'll be more. But that's what it is right now. It's 25 seats, and some tickets have already been sold.
Okay.
So I'm saying that if you're gonna come, go ahead and register, because we have to make sure that we have an account for the caterer. Okay. So you want to pay your money and you come and there's not enough bread. So we need to get your the head count for the caterer.
Okay. So where can people register?
You can go to eventbrite.com.
And that's with BRITE.
Yes. And then you're going to go under the Breast Cancer Survivors Workshop. And you'll see it. And the link is on my Facebook page. Kara's had it on her Facebook page. It's on my Pink Unveiled Facebook page. So the link is everywhere.
Okay. The Breast Cancer
Survivors Workshop.
Okay. I'm just trying to type.
Okay. And I also want to, before we get into the last part, to say that this is the last thing I want to say is that the purpose of the workshop is to find out where you are in the 4 stages of your process. Okay. We want you to move from discovery to daylight, or at least start your process. At least figure out where you are. Okay. And then, of course, it's probably going to be some tears and crying, but it's not a sad occasion. We want you to leave with clarity. We want you to leave empowered. We want you to leave inspired. We don't want you leaving heavy. Okay. So the purpose is to figure out where you are in your process, to get some clarity about where you are, and then work from there. Okay. So we want to kind of move you out of just surviving into living.
But don't be ashamed if you have a breakthrough and you have tears going, because let me tell you, I'll probably be the first one.
All right. So
absolutely.
In this last minute and a half, just maybe share some revelations you've had and why you felt like this was given to you.
I can honestly say I've never been angry with breast cancer. I've been mad at it, but I've never been angry at it. Without breast cancer, I would not have found my voice, learned my strength, found the beauty in things, and enjoyed my children so much.
Oh, wow.
It's made me find another love for my husband and another depth for him. The way he supported me through all this and continues to do so.
Amazing.
I think, basically what Kara said, to sum it up, it's just finding that there's more.
Okay.
Of course, nobody signs up for cancer. Nobody signs up to go through this kind of a process. But once you go through it, what is the more behind it? It's got to be more. So that's that. I think that's my purpose, is to help survivors find the more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you, ladies, for being so open and candid. Ladies, gentlemen, anyone out there of all age ranges, we want to encourage you to check your boobs, check your,
feel on.
If you feel something abnormal, go to your doctor. Have those conversations.
Yes.
Do not ignore it.
You don't always find your lump standing up. Sometimes you've got to lay down and find it.
All right. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope everyone has a great and warm weekend.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily